97.9 The Box, the real sound of H-Town. It's the Madd Hatta
Morning Show.
In the studio with us, designer and Project Runway contestant Lela Orr in the building. You can see her Thursdays on Bravo, 8 o'clock. Make sure you check it out. Now, you have your eco-luxury brand, Ferrah. Tell us what eco-luxury is.
Eco-luxury means that I am environmentally friendly, but with little cost to the environment. So I work with all natural fibers. I am a zero waste designer, which means that I don't throw anything out as I design. Everything is patterned in large rectangles like puzzle pieces, and whatever is cut and left over gets reincorporated in the collection. So I don't throw anything out. I recycle everything.
Now, Lela, how'd you get into fashion designing and learning how to sew?
Yeah, so I went to Parsons to get actual the tools that I needed to be a professional designer. But before that, when I was a little girl, I would just cut things up. I was from a family that didn't throw anything out really. We would just recycle everything. We were kind of taught from an early age that you wear things into the clothing fibers are bare, and then you cut up the patches and you patch it onto something else.
Really?
We were very resourceful. So from a very early age, I feel like I was always kind of zero waste, and I was creating things myself at a very young age. So it started really young, and I was self-taught. I just would do a lot of hand sewing, but Parsons is where I learned the tools to sew.
And then at what age did you make your first masterpiece in that you thought was your
first real design?
Yeah.
My first real design, I would say probably in school at Parsons when I was 23 years old is when I created my first design that was sewn with a sewing machine that I felt really proud of. But before that, I mean, I was proud of my 6 and 7-year-old looks that I would cut up sheets, cut up some denim, and put it together a dress and make it work.
So even when you went to school when you were young, were you wearing your own clothes even to school?
As a little girl, yeah. I mean, it was kind of my own clothes. It was my own creations by cutting up old Levi's and piecing together some
Did your friends
things.
know that you were able to do this? And did they ever hey, girl, make me some of that?
See, no, I didn't talk about it. I thought it was just
Really?
something that I did. It was just something that my family did. We would patch our jeans. We would cut up things. If I wanted a skirt, I would patch it together and make it myself.
So it wasn't really a big thing that was broadcasted by you.
I didn't realize that I was designing. I thought it was just something that I did.
Man, I didn't realize I was designing. I
Oh,
cut my pants and make
come
them
on,
short.
Bo. It's not your moment.
Create some cutoffs. There you go.
I never knew.
gosh.
So Parsons, is that some school that we should know about for great designers?
Yes, J-Man.
Yes, it's in New York. It was my dream.
Everybody doesn't know.
All right.
Yes, so Parsons is in New York City. It was my dream to go there. I saw it on Project Runway. Project Runway, they would practice in the Parsons workroom, and that's where they would sew their creations. And it's an amazing fashion school. You can actually even get a liberal arts degree. It's a full comprehensive school, but I went to the new school, which was the design school.
So how does this translate to you getting on Project Runway? How does this happen?
It's one of those things where I always saw it out there, and I always wanted to do it, but I just didn't really know it was attainable for me. I would tell my friends, I'm not a reality TV person. I'm kind of an introvert, and they were like, why can't that be you? Why don't you leave it up to the producers to decide? If this is your dream, go for it and see what happens. So it was my first year auditioning. I got it this year, and
You just went up there, no experience. You just said, I'm going to try and see what happens.
It felt like the right year. It was on Bravo now. Christian Siriano was the mentor. I remember watching Christian Siriano's season at home as a viewer, a big fan. And it was so full circle that it just kind of felt like the right time. With my business, Ferrah, it's eco-luxury. I know my customer. I know my customer base.
Who
I
is
know
your
how
customer?
I design. My customer, so I like to say, my customer is an elevated, elegant woman. There's
Not
no
Jazz.
age.
Oh.
It's Jazz.
Oh,
It's Dirty
wow.
Dog. It's
Wow.
Jazz.
Lela, don't listen to him.
I don't ever give an age range because my age range is very broad, and I love that. I
Right.
love that I don't design for a certain kind of body type, a certain kind of age. It really is any woman who wants to look elegant and fabulous, and you can do that at any age.
Why Ferrah, the name of your brand?
Ferrah in Arabic means joy. And so for me, my earliest muse was my grandmother. So seeing her get dressed up and go from wearing her regular daytime clothes to putting on a beautiful, let's say early 90s beaded cocktail dress, and just feeling so fabulous, and that transformative impact that fashion can have on your persona is why I do what I do.
Let me ask you this. So all the runways, you see all these crazy outfits. Why do they do that? The stuff that we'll never wear, like Gucci and all these things on the runways.
Like
we
a
never
hamburger.
see those clothes.
It's art. It's a statement. Fashion doesn't have to always be wearable, and that's kind of why I love it too. You can wear a sculpture piece with the idea that this is not going to be in Dillard's. This is going to make its way on the runway, and it's going to stay there. And I love that too. I love to create art pieces, but I also my customer base is rooted in ready to wear. So I always have to keep that in mind.
So where can we find your products?
Wow, good.
So my products are sold on my website at www.ferrah.co, and also on 19th Amendment. You can find our designs, and soon we're coming on Idlewild. That's a store in Cincinnati, and we are expanding our reach.
Got you. And how can people follow you if they want to follow you and see all the interesting things that you're into?
Yeah, you can follow my social media. I'm on Instagram at Lela Christiana. I also have my own brand, Ferrah Instagram.
Now,
yes,
Lela,
go ahead, Cooper.
Do you have any favorite designers?
Stella McCartney.
Okay.
I love Stella McCartney. I interned at The Row. So that's actually Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen's brand that they started.
So how are they as working under them?
I interned for them, so I wouldn't say I didn't really. I saw them and they're lovely, but I didn't really talk to them. One of my favorite brands out there, and I hope that he's still designing because he's so creative, is Harbison. I interned for him while I was at Parsons, and he designed a lot of custom pieces for Beyonce.
Oh,
so
Lordy.
I got a lot of
please
hands-on
don't say
experience
Beyonce's name. She might faint.
working for Beyonce. Yeah, that was incredible. We designed a custom piece for Beyonce for the Mayweather Pacquiao fight in 2015.
What was it like? What was the outfit? I don't remember.
Oh, it was beautiful. It
I need
was
to
this
know.
plunging red jumpsuit with this contrast satin plum colored piping at the bottom. It was insane. And she had a cape.
So how long does it take to design something like that for a Beyonce or anyone?
You know, the turnaround on that, I mean, the concept started like a month prior to the actual show day. So
does Beyonce come to you and say, I have this idea, or is something you guys have an idea for and
we think you would look good in this?
Her team worked with Charles a lot. So I think it was just kind of like a mutual, they had a relationship.
little collaboration?
Yeah, and it was a collaboration. She's been so supportive of emerging designers. She's amazing. I'd love to work with her again one day, especially also Rihanna. Rihanna's like my muse. So one day, please, Rihanna. Yeah.
Put it in the universe.
Yes, put it out there.
All right, once again, Lela Orr, tell them when they can find you on television once again so they can see you.
Yes, you can see me on Bravo, Project Runway. It comes on at 9, 8 Central, Thursday nights.
And bravo to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yes, ma'am.